a bit of a hard act to follow after Liz's lovely presentation last month. So when we were asked to obviously come along today and talk about marketing, and Mick and I are actually from two different businesses, so we thought we'd collaborate today to come up with some really useful information in marketing in general. And it took us about a week to figure out what we were going to talk about. Yeah. It's so broad in topic, and because we've only got half an hour, like, what value can we add in half an hour, and what can we cover from, I guess, a marketing perspective? Because you can just focus on social, you can just focus on website, like there's so many different elements. And anyway, so we came together and we thought we'd talk about the trends, what's changing in marketing in general for 2017, because obviously it's evolving continually, and we're seeing a lot of new elements coming into board, which does affect you as a small business. And it's a matter of just obviously knowing what's available, knowing what the changes are, and seeing how you can adapt them into your everyday business in a really easy, simple way. So I myself have been in marketing for probably just over 15 years now. I came into marketing pretty much straight out of school, and I'm not sure on Mick's background. I'll let him give you a bit of a history.
So a little bit newer to it. So I basically moved to Redcliffe out of the Army, and picked up a job, the flying instruction out of the airfield, and they had no marketing whatsoever, so basically self-taught, and started moving into that sort of role for other companies. So a lot of what you'll see this morning, Lisa's done an awesome job with the slides and the presentation and everything here, so I'll be playing pretty much second fiddle for a bit of it. I'll drive the screens and sort of help with some of the questions. But as you go through, again, you think about the polish on this and sort of what I talk about for marketing for your own bits and pieces. So, when you see the handouts, you'll sort of get an appreciation of, what that sort of polish looks like. So Lisa's done an amazing job there. But we are recording this, and what I'll do after this is basically take the audio recording, chop that up with the slides, and we'll turn that into a video. Just an example of, if you are speaking, how you can sort of reuse your content and get a little bit more out of the time and things like that. So that's sort of the part there. But we might swap sides. If you want to come over there, I can draw.
You can be the clicker. So my business, we were actually called Gobbledygook Creative Industries, and where we came up with the name Gobbledygook was obviously because when everything started to go online and into digital, it was so confusing for many people because there were so many different things to come up with. So basically my role is to turn it into something that's really easy to understand, that even if you don't have all the marketing qualifications, you can somehow understand it and implement it into your business. So we'll start with one of, an explanation. So marketing is a form of communicating with consumers in the hopes of selling a product, service, or experience. However, it's often a complicated and confusing dance in finding new and exciting ways to engage with your customers. And that's pretty much the simplicity of it. It's just about having some creative ideas and concepts to keep continually engaging with your customers, to get them involved in your business or engaged in your business. So first I'm going to talk about everyday frustrations and I guess the situations that most businesses are in at the moment. So frustrations, things keep changing, you can't just pop an ad in the yellow pages anymore and wait for people to come through. Customers are hanging out in more places, and you need some form of technical knowledge as to a marketing background and what you do with your business. You have to have some form of control and understanding. The fears that most businesses have is that they're getting left behind from their competitors, or they don't quite understand, they feel that they're not doing enough. You've got no time to learn how to do it or even implement any strategies because you want to be doing what you do best, and that is your business, not necessarily the behind the scenes. Where can you focus your time to get best results? How do you get in front of the right prospects at a cost-effective way? So how are you networking to the right people? And aspirations, obviously you want to know that you're doing the right things and your money is going on towards, I guess, the right avenues to bring you more clientele, because what happens is so many different mediums these days that if you spent advertising dollars or money and putting in every single publication or every type of advertising strategy, you won't know where your revenue or anything is coming from, and you're spending a lot of money and not knowing where your return is. What's changed? So I broke it down into three categories. So you've got technology, which is, if you go back in terms of traditional media, we started with newspapers, and it became a thing of you put ads in the newspapers. Then it went on to sort of radio, so you'd have your radio ads. So you could do your press ads, your print ads, your radio ads. Then it went on to TV, and then everybody was investing into TV advertising, and then it's gone from there now into digital. So it's things like websites and website advertising and do Facebook advertising and all those sort of elements. The method of delivery has changed, so a lot of it is all digital now in terms of the way that you communicate. So you can private message through Facebook, you can email people. It's become very less face-to-face and more in a digital delivery. And the people. So people are more aware, they're more educated, they like to be involved in their business choices, and generally they've got a bit more experience because they're trying to do things themselves and learn along the way. So there's a lot of upskilling and coaching that they're personally doing as they're starting their business. So that's sort of, I guess, the three categories. So let me get to the big elephant in the room, is what should you be doing for your business? How do you market your business? Where do you even start? So we'll go through on to, I've provided a bit of a list. There's about 10 or 11 really key new ways of doing marketing. I've broken down a few of them, extracted into a bit more of an education segment on particular ones, which I think are the key ones. But if we've got time, I'll cover a few extras. So Gwen mentioned something about being authentic, and that's probably the biggest advantage that you can have as an individual person and as from a professional and business thing. So authentic content marketing. We're living in a in an era of low trust in institutions, people and society as a whole. As its core as a business human, as consumers, we want to do business with those that share similar values. So it's about connecting with the right people that complement your business and adding value to your business. So it's about making those connections. You want to work and buy from organisations that are truthful, genuine and dependable. So it all boils down to authenticity. The survey here, just for a little stat here, a survey reported that only 18% of consumers say they trust business leaders to be truthful, which is a really low figure. So obviously there's a lot of work to be done there. And I think what's happened over time is that everybody's trying to stay ahead of the times with their marketing, but they're forgetting that it comes down to relationships, it comes down to rapport that you build with people, that word of mouth, the referrals, and me sort of saying to Gwen, look, I love what you're doing, you're genuine, you're authentic, I actually want to be involved with you in terms of the events and the business that you're promoting. So it's about making those connections. Influence marketing. So this one we're seeing a lot more of, especially in 2017. Influence marketing is the practice of finding people who are already influencing your market. So today's a really good example. Obviously Mick and I are from two different businesses, but we found that maybe putting something together and putting two heads to one strategy, perhaps we can add different skill sets to create some really good information. So it's about finding people that influence your market and creating smart alliances or partnerships or people that you think would complement. So in terms of network reach, so we're working on an event that's coming up soon. The Mothers in Business, we've come together to create a bit of a Mother's Day event, and we're all in complementing industries. So whether it's the beauty industry or fashion or whatever it might be, it's about making those smart connections. Videos. So all you have to do is look through your Facebook feed and you'll see how many of it is actually video now, and how much that has just changed in the last 6 months. 80% of the content on your Facebook feed will be video. It'll either be live stream, it'll be YouTube clips, it'll be pre-recorded videos. Another little statistic here, internet traffic from videos will make up to 80% of all the internet traffic by 2019. So it's only going to get worse. So there's a tip there that hence today we're filming. So you can see this is not something you would have done 6 or 7 months ago. So things like Facebook Live, YouTube, Snapchat is sort of the newer player to the team.
What is Snapchat?
Snapchat is just like a short... like Instagram, yes, another mobile app where people can share photos and text and forwards.
Vine is also another one. So using the word video in an email subject line will boost open rates by 19%. So it's about knowing little tips and tricks that you can do around that. Click-through rates improved by 65% if you had the word video in your email subject line. It's just little things like that. Nearly 75% of all internet traffic in 2017 will be from videos. So if you've got video footage on your internet pages, on your homepage, have a video that even if it's a promotional offer, or it might be an interview with one of your clients, or a testimonial video, anything like that. It could be a video telling about you, who you are and why you're in business, and giving a bit of history on your background. So again, you can people can say, oh, there's a face behind the business there, and they can connect with you. So it's that authenticity again. So it's about having the right tools on all of your platforms to make sure that you're kind of hitting all the different marks.
Video is a really interesting one, because with TV and things like that, we've kind of been trained to associate it. You should see someone on a screen that they're going to be an expert and they know what they're talking about, because that's just how we're sort of trained in terms of news and things like that, and production values. So talking about the authenticity, it's very hard to get up, and especially if you're talking to someone face to face and sort of lie, it's much easier to be caught out that way. If you think about politicians on TV, as opposed to if it was just a text-based thing. So when you're on front of a camera, it's much more of a personal type thing, talking to someone. So that sort of aspects we're talking about there. But the other thing that really scares people is trying to, it's got to be really high quality and things like that. You got to think most of the videos out there on the internet are cat videos that you see on YouTube and things like that. So that's what you're competing with, is people falling off bikes and falling off walls and cat videos. So it could be a video of absolutely anything. It could be you saying, wow, look at this beautiful location we're in today for our networking event. It could be a really quick live Facebook video like that. It could be a more formal sit-down video that's actually been prepared for a specific campaign. It really does, as I said, it really opens up to, I guess, the flexibility you have in options of video.
One, just share quickly, I've got a Redisplay template set up that for 5 months, and I got really frustrated with Facebook.
Yeah.
Like posting, just nothing came out of it. And last couple of weeks ago, I posted a video. I actually filmed the treatment, posted that, and I got 8 cool kicks out of that.
Yeah.
So it actually really does work.
Yeah. The biggest fear that most people face with this is the confidence to actually film. That's the biggest barrier. So it's the feeling that you don't necessarily want to be the face behind the camera. That's okay. You can do things to sort of build confidence. But you might not have to be the face behind the video. You could get one of your staff to do it. That's, you could film one of your staff giving a treatment. You could,
that's what I did,
yeah. You could interview a client of yours and have them behind the video. So there's ways around it if you're not quite yet ready to be that person behind the camera.
And doing videos just on the phone?
Yeah. So there's options to just do off your mobile phone, and generally, if they're quite raw like that, then people that go, oh, what are they doing? Like, it creates a bit of intrigue. Where if it looks like a professional TV commercial, people will scroll over and go, it's just an ad. So yeah, so it's little things like that. Yeah.
You can get an app to edit the video. That's a bit of playing around with.
Yeah, Marty.
Okay, you're explaining all this, what we can do. I know what we can do, I know all this, I don't know how to.
Yeah.
Now, you're leading me astray mentally, because well, mine's going bang, explosive. I want to know, is that, if we want to know how to do that's what you come in and do it for us.
Yeah, so I've got a little handout that you can take home today, because I didn't want to go through all the different business tools that you can use. So I've created a bit of a handout. It's about 7 pages long, but it has literally video programs that you can use, video apps that you can use. It has image platforms where you can get free images. It has, like, I guess it's like a toolkit, a resource kit, that's like a how-to guide. So hopefully that will give you a little bit more of insight.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you own a mobile phone, then generally there's camera apps on there where you can film video. So if you don't want it to be live, you can actually just get your mobile phone, hit camera, hit the video function, and you can record a video.
Then you can download. How do you download it to?
It's probably, in terms of the presentation this morning, it's probably more just a quick overview to bring everyone up to speed on what some of the more recent trends are. The how-to part is a bit tricky to do in a...
There's a couple of ways that you can do it. So if you've got the Facebook app on your phone, you can literally just, as you're in your newsfeed of your Facebook, when you go to add a picture, you can actually select video. So if you've got video footage on your device, on your phone, you can actually just select the video instead of selecting an image. That's a really easy way to do it. If you want to put it onto your computer, then you'd use your USB cable from your phone to your computer, and you can copy what's on your phone onto your computer, and then you can upload it from there. So you can have a bit of, that's when you can start to use some editing tools if you want to edit your video, add some text over it. So there's some really, really simple ways that you can do it, which if we get time we'll come back to, I think.
I think that's a good point though, because if you're a young person who's grown up with technology, you have no issue with this.
Yeah.
You can integrate it into your life and your business life. But if you're like me, a few generations behind, growing up with this technology, then if you're in business, particularly small business, there's a cost to you of your time. You don't have a hell of a lot of time to spend, so you really need someone to have prepared something like NYAB sort of stuff.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different apps that you can download on your phone and that you can also download onto your computer. Enomoto is a really good one. If you don't want, live video, you can actually insert a whole heap of images and it'll add music to it. You can add little text blurbs to it. It's a really, really simple app. Or you can just have it as a raw video that you're filming on a camera. So you can use, what was that called? It's Enomoto. So if you have a look at your little plans here, you've got through here. You scroll down on page video. So you've got Cartoon, and you've got Enomoto. They're both some really good video apps. Otherwise, you're just using things like the Facebook Live.
What do you call it when you have text underneath your
Subtitles.
Subtitles, yeah.
That's the word.
Yeah.
Subtitle. So do you need an app to add that?
Not necessarily. So there are apps that will do that. What you can do, so just say you filmed something with your phone, the best way to probably do to get it off your phone would be to pop it onto your computer so that you can open it up in an app and add your text.
In Facebook and YouTube now, once you've uploaded a video, there's a section where you can actually go back and add subtitles separate to it, and it'll overlay the subtitles on top of the video.
Yeah.
So you can come back to a video at a later date and put the subtitles on. Yeah. And the really important part of that is, depending on how you guys use your phone, but quite often I'll watch a video with the sound off on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, and if it's got the text there, it's going to make me watch it for longer.
Yeah.
Because quite often, it's late night, or there'll be situations where you don't want the audio on, and if there is text over the video, you can actually watch the video with no sound and get the context.
The majority of people when they're at work, they're watching. So you don't want to be heard that you're watching videos.
If you're posting on Instagram, you can only do it for 1 minute, right?
There are times. So generally what we say for short, sharp videos, 30 seconds is a good sort of quick little live stream video.
Is that first impression?
Yeah, you've really only got 3 seconds to get somebody intrigued in your video. So that's when your sort of headlines or whatever you're naming the video is a really good indicator to say, oh, okay, what's this about? And then they'll click it. And then within those first 3 to 5 seconds, if you entice them enough to watch the rest of the video, they'll stay.
So how about we keep going and then we capture all these questions at the end? Well, that's right, there's just lots of things, and that way if we go through a presentation, we can pick and choose questions at the end that sort of tailor in. So
good idea.
we might do that. Because, video's cool, but lots of other cool things too.
Automation. So you'll see more and more of this that comes along with the digital aspect of marketing as well. So it's all about time management. So if you can do almost like a set and forget, but not completely a set and forget, where things can actually go out on your behalf after hours or at certain times when it needs to go out, whether it be emails or messages or responses. So it all boils down to who gets the first mover's advantage, who engages with customers more often, who converts leads faster. So for example, if you're a small business and you're running a restaurant and people are asking you questions or posting on your social page and wanting a response within 24 hours, if you can't get to them, if you have an automated response set up to say, thanks for your question, we're super busy right now entertaining our guests, but we'll get back to you within 24 hours, that gives me a bit of satisfaction to say, wow, they've actually acknowledged me already. And because what happens is if you don't respond within 24 hours, they'll go somewhere else.
Yes.
It really comes down to, in terms of your competitors, if you've got the upper advantage from a time perspective, that's when you're more likely to secure them.
Is anyone using any email newsletter or things like that? Yep. MailChimp? Yep.
Yeah.
So-
Even things like scheduling.
Yes, I was going to say, well, back on MailChimp and then we'll do scheduling. So MailChimp, if you're not using it, it's just a customer database essentially. So you upload any email addresses of your customers and you push out a newsletter. That's kind of what it's designed for. But it can do other things as well. So people can come to your website and actually download something for free that you've given them, which put them on your database. And just that ability to go out and keep in contact with them, it gives you that additional reminder, and especially if you're putting out good, helpful information. Again, that back to the first point, it's about content marketing authority. You're positioning yourself as someone who knows something about the business that you're talking about, and you're keeping in front of the people in a method like that. And scheduling, you can sit down on a Monday morning and plan out your Facebook posts or your social media posts on a Monday morning, and then go about your business for the rest of the week. And your posts on social media will roll out without you having to be in front of the computer every day doing that. So that's one way of doing the scheduling.
Yeah. So you're not having to wake up and go, oh, what am I going to post on social today? If it's about maybe allocating just a couple of hours a week or 1 or 2 hours a week, think, okay, what messages do I want to convey this week? And putting it into a bit of a content planner, so you're not just doing ad hoc posting, you're actually putting some strategic thought behind what you're saying, and you can actually pre-schedule them. So you'd go in and you would put exactly what you're going to say, you can upload your images, but you can schedule it to go out tomorrow, you can schedule it to go out on Friday. So you're not having to then sit down every morning and scroll through it for an hour thinking, okay, what am I going to post? It's about, because what happens is sometimes when you're doing that, it may not be relevant and it may not be a really good strategic decision. It's just, I have to post something today. What am I going to say? So I guess it comes down to that sort of more smart content creation, about really having some key things, messages that you want to convey to your audience. And if you can do it from an automated thing, it's almost like a set and forget. So you can kind of go, this is what I want to say every day. And you can post it and schedule it. There'll obviously be the elements of ad hoc posting that you do, which could be live videos, it could be, wow, look at this platter we've just created today, and you'd upload that, and that can be just as a double up post. So you'd still have your core messages going out every day, which would be your scheduled post, and then you might do some ad hoc ones in between, which is sort of on the go. So there's a lot of different scheduling. Facebook, you can schedule via Facebook, but there's actually scheduling programs that you can use as well, which will be in that little handout.
So Lisa, should you do it every day? You're saying that you post every day, but you can also do supplements?
Best practice for business is, yes, to post every day. It's not necessarily posting about your business every day. So it might be, there's I guess a bit of a macro or micro strategy that we work from. So like on Monday or Tuesday, you might post an article that you've written or a blog that you've written. Tuesday might be a more salesy post or a promotional offer that you have. Wednesday might be an article that you're sharing that you like of a complimenting business. So somebody that is an affiliate of yours to say, hey, I found this really relevant to my business, this is why, and sharing it. Thursday might be a video that you've created. And Friday might just be a quote, a general quote, to say like a motivational quote or an inspirational quote, something non-related. Because if you hammer every day, business, all about you every day, people are going to get bored of following you and they're going to leave. So it's about creating that engaging content that they can see you for more than what your business is. They can say that you, they'll know more about your interest as a business, they'll know more about, especially if you are here, they might say, look, there's an event at Scarborough this weekend. After you finish at the event, pop on over to the restaurant, this is what we've got. So you can kind of link it with community and try and have a bit of variety, because if it's the same flavour every single day, they're going to get bored and they're going to go follow someone else. Because it's about engaging with them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you build that relationship with businesses.
Yeah.
Just giving them part of you
Yeah.
without putting them right in personal.
Yeah. Because as I said, if you post sale every day.
Stuff on there, guys. Seriously? I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
Gina, how many Facebook fans are on your company page,
I think I'm up to 1,576, I think it is.
All right, so we'll talk about it shortly, but just keep that figure in mind when we talk about reach a little bit more, and we'll come back to posting every day, because something, most people get annoyed if they keep on posting every day. So we'll talk about that when we get to reach.
This is so good.
Yeah, that's
Brilliant,
right.
isn't it? It's like, wow.
There's so much more that you can go into. So like half an hour doesn't quite cover it. So I was like, how do we do? So what we could do, and I mean it's totally up to Gwen and Gwen, is if we do a particular topic, so just say video is the flavour, we can actually do a workshop on something specific. So I guess today was really just trying to figure out obviously what people's concerns are, what your interests are, what your struggles are in everyday business, and trying to figure out how we can help you align some form of strategy behind that. Another really important thing to do is data-driven content. So this is a lot of people post, and they're not actually looking at statistics. Are people clicking on it? Are people opening it, reading it? How many followers do you have? How are you communicating with those followers? Is your website being clicked on? What pages are they liking on your website? So it's about having that actual, after the auditing process really, is to, are your marketing efforts actually working? So it really comes down to using that data as a marketing tool to drive the content. So just say you're posting videos, okay, so you perfect example, you were posting anything other than video and you weren't getting a response. Then you decided to post a video and you got a response. So that's using that data. So you were able to identify, look, that really worked, I'm going to do more of that. So it's about finding that data of who's opening it.
It's just a lot more time consuming to do a video.
But if you, in terms of your planning, if you're okay, well, videos is what works. When I'm having my 1 to 2 hour planning on a Sunday or on a Monday morning when I get into business, let's plan what, if I do one video only this week, what is it going to be? Or if I do 2 videos this month, you can start slow, you don't have to do one every week. Just say you want to do 1 per month. Let's plan that and make it, I guess, your core structure for that month. So data tells you what's really moving the needle, and the truth is that every business needs to be conscious of the results. Data also has the potential to be the most valuable marketing resource. With the right information on hand, you can create scalable, repeatable marketing processes. So when we say repeatable, so obviously Lena identified videos work. Let's repeat what works. Because you don't want to be spending all your time then posting stuff that you're not getting results on. If you find something that works, you then tailor your strategy around that. Getting the right message in front of the right audience at the right time to drive the right desired consumer behaviour. So it really comes down to, the results and using the data that you can get and having access. There's a lot of reporting suites, like Facebook has an insights report, so you can look at what were your top 10 posts for the week. How many new likes did you get? What was the most thing? Was it images that were clicked on? Was it videos? Was it content? So you can see they've got a whole reporting. It's free. There's a button there that you can just view, and it'll give you a whole report. There's website tools and website reporting that you can access as well, which we'll go into a bit. There's a bit more in the handout, so we can cover at the end. But it's all about using the data usefully. Social media. So this is kind of a realm on its own. It's one of the fastest changing industries. I mean, you would have seen, obviously, we've had the introduction of Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and you've got YouTube and Instagram and Pinterest and so many different platforms. There's new ones coming up all the time. It is quite hard to keep up with them and be active on all of them. So I guess
which are the most important ones?
Depends for the type of business. So if you're in real estate, for example, just using as an example. So if you're in real estate, for example, you're generally not going to use Pinterest, which is like an image platform. You as a professional would probably want to align yourself with some more sort of upper echelon connection. So LinkedIn would be your platform. That would be where your focus is. Like if you're a lawyer or an accountant, LinkedIn is going to be, because LinkedIn is sort of your more corporate platform. It's got a lot more of your business professionals. It's gone away from being that sort of more resume type platform to now being that sort of that smarter business connection or business alliance. So it's about building professional connections. So anyone in sort of accounting or law or any sort of some more corporate business would be LinkedIn. If you're retail or a restaurant, Facebook is going to be your Facebook and Instagram. If you're into beauty and health products, it's going to be things like Instagram and Facebook, because you're not necessarily going to have the right audience on LinkedIn. So it's different for every business. So yes, you would need an element on a few of those. You wouldn't just focus on the one, which comes down to a different sort of SEO perspective, where Google sees how proactive you are online, which is a whole other subject. But it's about knowing what platform to spend most of your efforts on for your style of business. So what's trending with social? You've got direct messaging. So I can now message Gwen without actually posting on her timeline. I can send her a private message about business or meeting up for coffee. So obviously there's more and more of that going on. There's become a bigger fight against fake news. So obviously the speed of social media of getting news stories out is far surpassed from what it used to be in terms of the way people are communicating just media stories. So Facebook have actually launched a bit of a campaign to squash a lot of fake news that comes out, because people can post up on Facebook and go, oh yeah, that's true. Whereas there's no factual data behind it. So yeah, fight against fake news. Again, it comes down to being authentic and having authentic, true content. The live videos, augmented reality, chatbots. Does anyone know what a chatbot is? Do you know when you jump onto a website and it has a little pop-up window that comes up? Hi, I can see you on my page. What are you doing today? Would you like to chat with somebody? That's a chatbot. There's more and more of that, and that's coming through onto social as well now, whereas it traditionally was only on websites.
Yeah, so you can order on Facebook, you can order Domino's pizza using the message function and just responding to questions without it actually being a person on the other end. So there'll be lots more of these sort of automated assistants. You can have a conversation backwards and forwards, and it'll ask basic questions. You can answer basic questions and get a solution that way.
So it's evolving, and it evolves every day. Social advertising, so obviously now people are seeing results in spending more money on Facebook advertising because it's cheaper and you're getting a maximum reach for less money. So instead of paying for print advertising, which might cost you $1,200 to put one ad in a local paper, you can spend $1,200 on Facebook and reach anywhere up to 20,000 people. So it's about, again, knowing where to spend your dollars, and people are moving away more so from that traditional advertising, because to advertise on TV for a small business, it's not affordable. To advertise in paper is a bit of a struggle, even into print for a small business with low startup costs and no marketing budgets. Facebook advertising and social advertising is definitely the place to begin, because you're going to get more bang for your buck. Dark social, do you want to elaborate on what dark social?
Yeah, so pretty much the problem is now, especially if you're looking at website analytics, it's very hard to find out where people are coming from and get the actual information in. So there's one thing you can do with dark social, I guess, is you can actually run posts on Facebook as an advert. So instead of going out to your wall and everyone can see it, you can basically select a subgroup. So say you've got a page where you might have an audience of men and women, and that particular product that you're pushing, you only want it to basically go to a female audience. Well, you can actually push that out as what they call a dark post, as a paid post, and it won't appear on your wall, but it will appear for those people who see it. So you can then have very targeted ads that go out or messages that go out, and then you can track the clicks on that and do analytics on the back end of that. So that's what they call about dark posts. So instead of, again, if you don't want your competitors seeing what promotions and things like that you're running, you can do this. So people will go to your Facebook page and won't see anything there, but you'll reach, it may only be people in Scarborough from this age group. But you can basically segment it down and have posts that go out that don't actually appear on your wall.
That's amazing. So that's nowhere near the boost?
No, because boost is once you've already put it on your page, you're then boosting the reach of that. And it's generally, if you're stuck in Facebook ads, most people would recommend against doing that. You're better off going into the ad platform. Sure, if you don't have time, it's kind of like the easy way of doing it. But like anything that's easy, you kind of get a little bit less value for it. So you're better off using the ad platform to go and do things like that, rather than just hitting the boost button on it, because it's not particularly targeted when you hit the boost button.
Yeah, so to add to that, when you're boosting, you're not actually building brand loyalty. You're actually just, that particular post that you've boosted, you'll reach a lot of people, but they're not necessarily going to like your page. They might just see your thing. Whereas if you actually went in and you created an ad from your Facebook page, which might be a branding ad or it could be a promotional ad, and you specifically targeted your audience, because it gives you that flexibility in there to select age group, to select male or female, to select profession, to select suburb. You can really be quite strategic with who you target. You can't necessarily do that from a boost. And what happens with, so boost is great to sort of, from a brand exposure, but they're not necessarily going to like or follow your page. Whereas they will if they see an ad. So it's about just, again, so there's an element, so obviously you would still boost, I'm not saying don't boost, but if your object is to build your following and build some more likes and more followers, you're not necessarily going to get that from a boost. So you do that complement. So just say you had a really good blog article that you've written, or you had a really good promotion. They're the type of things that you would boost. You wouldn't boost every single post that you have up, and you certainly wouldn't boost ones that are cross-promoting somebody else. So again, it's knowing sort of how to use the content smartly on your website and on your social feeds. Relationships. So you should value every single relationship you have in your personal and professional life with an understanding of the importance of relationships. You'll expand, improve, and grow your business bottom line. So the biggest thing that I've seen working with a lot of clients is that they have gotten bogged down in this whole digital behind the screen marketing. They've forgotten the actual importance of building relationships and building rapport and having that face-to-face contact, because a lot of people still really value that. And what you'll find is if you're forever stuck behind your computer and not meeting new people, not sharing your business, you'll find that your referral process will slow down because you're not having that, you're not actively engaging in relationship marketing or network marketing, which is really, really easy to do when you say, cool, I can just email everyone and I can Facebook message them and I can post on my wall and people can see me what I look like through a computer. But you're not necessarily going to go, you know what, there's more to her than just what she's saying on her Facebook page, or wow, I really connected with her because she's got a similar background to me. Like there's stuff that you learn about people with just face-to-face contact and what you would learn from something just typed into a social page. So even if you have everything else in place from a digital marketing standpoint, if you offer poor customer service and a subpar relationship experience, you're not going to retain any customers. That's the simplicity of it. So again, it comes down, Ben touched on customer service. So it's really, really important there. So I've only extracted a few of these. Obviously there's a bit more in terms of the top 11 things. So we've talked about authentic content marketing, influence marketing, video. One of the ones that I'll just quickly touch on, mobile first. So more than 80% of people browsing your stuff is done from a mobile phone. So it's about making your content, what you're posting, easy to read on a mobile, making sure your website is mobile friendly, that your website looks easy to read on mobile. If it's a really, really old website, it's most likely it's not even mobile responsive. Everything's going to touch screen these days, so you can scroll. It's about making sure that you've got a mobile first strategy, because the majority of people are not on desktop, they're on a smart device like a tablet device or an iPad or a mobile phone. You can see that by the size of phones these days, they're like mini computers. So people are moving, not necessarily moving away from the desktop, but just most of their casual browsing is done on a device. So it's just about making sure that your website and your Facebook page and everything looks beautiful on a mobile device.
I don't know if it's an iPad or an iPhone.
So we talked about personalisation, so that's more about you and your personal brand. Automation, purpose-driven marketing. So that's, I guess, having a strategic goal in mind and making sure that what you're posting and what you're saying about your brand and your business relates to that. We talked about data-driven marketing, social media buy buttons, so that's allowing people to shop and buy through social media, which is now there's a whole new portal that's opened up on Facebook. You can shopping carts and things like that. People can shop via Facebook. They don't have to go to your website now. You can have a little button at the top of your page which you can click, buy now or buy a product now, or if you're a consultancy, you can say book an appointment now. They don't have to go through your website. social messaging and relationship marketing. So they're, I guess, the biggest changes or biggest things that are coming for 2017. What else have we got? So yeah, I guess most of the time when I finish these workshops, most of the time when I finish doing presentations or workshops, I said there's so much that you can delve and talk about that most people go, wow, I still have no idea what I'm doing, I don't even know where to start. You know, it's different for every individual business, so what might be right for you might be totally different for you. You might already have some stuff in play which you're like, oh, okay, I need to go back and tweak that, or okay, yep, that was really useful, I'm going to go and try and implement that into my business, but hang on a minute, I've already got some stuff in play, what do I keep, what do I get rid of? It's always going to be confusing, and it's because it's evolving. It's never going to be the same. So it's about continually exposing yourselves. Yeah. So you know, where do you start, and how do you know what's right for your business?
Contact you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.